chemical equations. So by the end of this presentation, you should be able to explain the law of conservation of mass, write and balance the following equation, and write and balance and predict the products of the following equation. So law of conservation of mass. The second law of thermodynamics says that matter cannot be created or destroyed. So even if a chemical reaction takes place, your mass is conserved. So if you look in this picture, we've got calcium chloride reacting with sodium sulfate, and we've got 300.23 grams. Okay, chemical reaction occurs, and we get calcium sulfate and sodium chloride. So we changed what we were working with, but if you look, the mass is still the same. So mass always has to be equal. So here we write calcium plus zinc carbonate produces, so this little arrow means produce or yield, forms, they all mean the same thing. And then you have your products, calcium carbonate plus zinc. So what you start with on the left hand side, these are your reactants. And then on the right side of the arrow are your products. So if you know the mass of your calcium and you know your mass of your zinc carbonate and you know your mass of a third one, then you can figure out what our zinc was. So we just add them up. So 64 plus 92, I think is 256. We'll go with it. So this side has to equal 256 grams too. So we can just subtract our 152 and we get 104. So we must have had 104 grams of zinc. Here are the rules for balancing equations. So what you want to do is you're going to have to write all your formulas down because you're going to have word equations, so you have to know how to write compounds. Then you're going to balance your metals first, then your nonmetals, then hydrogen, and save oxygen for last. If you have polyatomic ions, you can balance them as a unit if you like. It will make your life easier. Then make sure all your coefficients are in the lowest possible ratio, so you have to reduce. And also know when to quit. If you start getting wild numbers, double check what you've done. And make sure you keep your little hands off the subscripts. You cannot, so if like I have H2O, I can't change that too. Because then then it's not water anymore, it's something else. So only mess with coefficients. These are the coefficients. Alright, so here, this is our arrow, right? So we want our reactants, which is always the left side, to equal our products, which is always the right side. Okay, so I want to balance my metals first, which is aluminum. I have 1 aluminum over here, I have 2 aluminum over here. So what I can do is I can put a coefficient here to make that equal out. Then I'm going to balance my oxygen. I have 2 oxygen here, 3 here. So what I can do is kind of like backwards cross multiply. So if I have 3 here, you put a 3 here, a 2 here, put a 2 here. But once I do that, now I have 4 aluminum. So I need to go back and change this to a 4. And then it's balanced. 4 aluminum, 4 aluminum. 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. And oh, well, y'all don't know types yet. We'll get there. Okay. So now I want to do my metals first. Well, I don't have any, but I have nonmetals. So carbon. So I have 2 carbon here. I need 2 carbon here. Then I'm going to do my hydrogen. I have 6 hydrogen total on this side. 2 hydrogen on this side. I need 6. So I'm going to put a 3 right here. Then I'm going to do my oxygen. Well, I have 2 on this side. Over here I've got 4 plus I have 3, so that's 7. Uh-oh, I gave y'all a hard one. So nothing times 2 will equal 7, not whole numbers anyway. But 3.5 times 2 will equal 7. Well, I can't have half a molecule. So what I need to do is go back and just double every coefficient. So this will become 2. This will become 7, this will become 4, and this will become 6, and then everything's balanced. Okay. Silver nitrate plus magnesium chloride gives me silver chloride and magnesium nitrate. So what I'm going to do is, do y'all see how this is a polyatomic ion? This is a polyatomic ion. I'm going to balance those as a unit. It will just make my life easier. So I want to do my metals first. I have one silver, so that's okay. I have one magnesium, that's alright. Then I'm going to do my chlorines. I have 2 chlorines here, well I need 2 chlorines here. Well, so that changed my silver, so now I need to go put 2 silver there. Okay, then here, now I've got 2 nitrates. Over here I have 2 nitrates. So I'm done. Just go back and fill them in with ones. Okay. Types of reactions. First one is synthesis. This is when 2 or more products combine to form one. So like when Jay-Z and Beyonce got together, now they're a couple. Decomposition, when one reactant breaks down into 2 or more products. So water decomposing into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, like Chris Brown and Rihanna when they broke up. Single replacement, when one element replaces another element in a compound. So here, this zinc is replacing this hydrogen, so you get zinc chloride plus hydrogen. So like when Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake were dating, and then Jessica Biel, like he swapped out girls, and then Cameron Diaz is all alone now. Double displacement, when 2 elements switch places to form 2 different compounds. So here, the sodium and the silver are swapping places. They swapped. So that's double displacement. So like it was, what's his face? Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, and then this dude and Jolie. They like swap places. Combustion, okay, this is just like fire. So you're gonna have an alkane, which is some carbon compound, CH4, C3H8, even with an O at the end, but you've got some kind of carbon compound plus oxygen gas yields carbon dioxide and water. So it's always going to look, this part will always look the same, this could change. Alright, so predict the following products. Solid aluminum reacts with iron 3 oxide. So I need to write this. So solid aluminum, so just regular aluminum, reacts with, so plus, iron 3 oxide, so now I have this single metal here by itself, so I know that this must be a single replacement. So this is going to swap out with this metal. So that will give me iron by itself plus aluminum oxide. And then I need to balance it. So I have 1 aluminum here, 2 here, so this needs to be a 2. I have 2 iron here, so this needs to be a 2. I have 3 oxygen, 3 oxygen. So then I can just go back and fill in with ones. If it makes you feel better, you don't have to. Calcium oxide reacts with water. Alright, calcium oxide reacts with water. This one's a little tricky. I don't know if y'all would be able to do this one right away. This is a synthesis, and this produces calcium hydroxide. This one's a little harder. So now we're going to do our metals first. So I have 1 calcium, so that's okay. I have 2 hydrogen, so that's okay. And then over here I've got 1, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen here. Oh good, so it's already balanced. So if you want to go back and fill in with ones to make yourself feel better, you can. Alright, if you can't answer the questions from the beginning of this slide, then go ahead and watch the practice problem video.